In other news, we're tracking for you nearly 5 decades after his death. The inquest into the murder of anti-apartheid leader Steve Biko has been reopened. Authorised by the Justice Minister and the National Prosecuting Authority, it forms part of renewed efforts to address unresolved apartheid-era crimes. Now, Biko was, as you know, the founder of the Black Consciousness Movement. He was arrested in 1977 and died in police custody at the age of just 30. At the time, the apartheid police claimed he died following a hunger strike. Newzroom Afrika's Sipha Kema is tracking the story. She joins us live in Gqeberha this morning. There's the history of Steve Biko, his murder, the contribution that he would have made to the country which was lost, and the aftermath that the families still continue to live with, Sipha.
Absolutely, and it's for this exact reason why, Michelle, this inquest had to be reopened, especially after the initial inquest in 1977 ruled that Steve Biko died from head injuries after a scuffle with the police. But it's always been suspected that he died in police custody here in Gqeberha, what was then known as Port Elizabeth, when he was arrested in King Williamstown in 1977, as you mentioned, and then he was transported here to Port Elizabeth at the Warmer police station, where he faced 22 hours of a grueling investigation, where he was allegedly tortured and beaten, and then after thrown naked at the back of a police vehicle, transported more than 1,000 kilometers all the way to Pretoria. Now, it has been said that the state had tried to show the public that Steve Biko might have died in between the transportation, traveling all the kilometers to Pretoria. But as I mentioned, that the suspicions were that he actually died in custody here in Port Elizabeth. And that's the exact reason why this matter is being heard at the Gqeberha High Court. What we also know is that Advocate Toby will be representing the Biko family as well. So we are seeing a number of inquests being reopened, Michelle, and families seeking retribution, but also wanting answers as to what exactly happened.
Well, absolutely, Sipha. And of course, you know, Steve Biko's murder is one case in a number of unsolved, unresolved cases where there's been no accountability. The murder of the Craddock Four is also back in the spotlight for the very same reasons, right? And there will be questions about why it has taken us this long. Where has been the political will to get this process in action a lot sooner than 2025?
Absolutely, Michelle. And I mean, if you look at some of the inquests, like the Craddock Four, as you mentioned, this is the third inquest. It's the third time that the families of the Craddock Four are trying to seek answers and get the truth. And I mean, they had tried before, the persons of interest, or rather those that are directly linked to the murders of the Craddock Four, before they had passed away. But sadly, by the time the inquest started, which was in June this year, all those directly responsible had passed away. However, there are still those persons of interest, as the NPA as well as the TRC believes as well, when it comes to this particular inquest, Steve Biko's inquest, is that there are two persons of interest that can give those answers that the Biko family has been looking for 50 years. As you would imagine, that it is quite a long time for families to wait and receive those answers, but also the fact that there's only been one inquest looking into Steve Biko's death, and that was only in 1977 by the same state that is accused of killing him.
Sipha Kema is live to us there in Gqeberha as we continue to track that story.